Hello my friends, it's a pleasure to have you guys back for another video. So in today's video we're going to be talking about the top must-do tips for all first-time Disney World guests, travelers that are going to Disney World in 2020. It's 2019, and as you guys know, Disney World is always changing, either on a yearly basis, monthly basis, day-to-day basis, or weekly basis. We just don't ever know, but this is just in general shortcut to all of the people who are going to Disney World for the first time in 2020. Just things that you should know. And I also have been debating if I want to do this in Spanish as well. Entonces, si ustedes quieren ver que haga un video como este en español, por favor me notifican en los comentarios para que pueda crear ese video para usted. Y nada más quiero que sepan que mi español, como pueden notar, no es al 100%. Entonces, por favor, tenme un poquito de paciencia si lo estoy practicando. But other than that, let's just go ahead and jump into the video. First, Disney World tip for all first-time Disney World travelers. Believe it or not, when I went to my first Disney trip 7 or 8 years ago, I had no idea. I kind of was a little oblivious to Disney World. It was just like this kind of, it's like the Disney World for me was like the North Pole. It's just like you knew about it, but you didn't do research about it, right? I did not know there were 4 parks. I don't know why I thought it was just Cinderella's Castle and that was it. No, there are 4 parks and you do have to pay admission to every single park. So this might be a common sense rule, but just know that there are 4 parks when it comes to Disney World. There is Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. Of course, there's Disney Springs if you guys are wanting to do some shopping, some Disney shopping at Disney World. No admission to pay to go to Disney Springs. Just make sure you do bring money to buy stuff. And then of course there's water parks. There's Disney's Blizzard Beach, and there's the other one which I can't think of the name at the top of my head because I actually don't like going to water parks. I just don't. And then there's all the resorts and shopping and centers and character dining experiences, or dining experiences in general at all the resorts and hotels and Disney Springs. You could go into the details of all the resorts and Disney Springs and food and character experiences or whatever, but this video would be so long, but that was just an overall glimpse of the parks. You could definitely get more information by researching the parks and each park's theme and whatever the case may be. My second best tip that I have for you guys who are going to Disney World, that was something that I wish I would have done and is going to save you a lot of time and a lot of money and get the most out of your experience, is hiring a Disney travel agent, a travel agent that focuses specifically on Disney trips. And first rule of thumb when booking a travel agent, I didn't know this. A travel agent gets paid off commission. You never pay anybody up front. They always get paid by commission. So with that being said, I personally use Joy Walters. She is an expert on all things Disney and Disney World and Disney theme parks, Disneyland even, Disney cruises. And I will definitely link her information in the description below. I, of course, am not sponsored. She didn't pay me to say this. I just genuinely love her. She is a sweetheart. If Disney's having like a sale on resorts or any type of sort of sale, she lets me know to get the most bang for my buck. So she stays on top of it. But Disney travel agents are the best, and they love, you know, like who else plan a trip than somebody who loves Disney as well and who is an expert in it. So I would definitely recommend your first time going on a Disney World trip or even any Disney type trip is to book a travel agent to save you time, money, and to get the most out of your experience. Third tip, and the one that I strongly would encourage you to enforce, is do not pay for water at Disney parks. In general, in life, I hate paying for parking and I hate paying for water. That's just how I am. Do not pay for water at Disney. Buy a hydro flask, a thermal flask, a water flask, whatever, anything that's going to keep your water cool. And because you guys, Disney has free water stations. Disney wants you to stay hydrated. Do not pay overpriced prices for a water bottle. Just don't. Bring your own water bottle. Go to the water stations. If you don't know where they are, just ask a cast member. They'll be more than happy to tell you where. It's not a big deal. Just make a promise. Pinky promise me right now, you will not pay for a water bottle. You will bring your own water and you will get water for free. You guys, it is our human right to drink water. Come on now. Next tip that I have for you is please download the app You guys, literally your app is your go-to guide for everything at Disney World, any Disney theme park in general. Fast passes on the app, you can reservations for dining on your app, wait times, your map, your wait times for your buses and your shuttles. There's like explanation of every park and every attraction and every ride and every character experience. Literally, it is like the Bible for your Disney trip. So please make sure you download the app. Big tip for you guys to know, if you guys are trying to beat the crowds, make sure to either check online crowd calendars on several Disney blogs that are out there. All you got to do is go on Google, type in Disney crowd calendars, and see what the predictions are. And of course, these are 100% accurate, but they are pretty close. But also, another really good indicator to beat the crowds at Disney is to go on the Disney website and see the prices of the tickets for that day. So typically, the cheaper the ticket, the less crowds there is expected. Where the higher the ticket, or the higher the price of the ticket, the more that crowds are expected. And typically the most crowded times to go is during the holidays, or around the holidays. I know like Christmas and New Year's is like the most, not only the most expensive, but like when it's the most crowded. So just be wary of that. Also, it's important to note that a lot of these calendars, and on your Disney app, they will have like what rides and parks are scheduled for refurbishment. I know Epcot, from what I understand, 2020 Epcot is going to have the most refurbishment, so that's just something for you guys to be aware. They're going like they're undergoing the most transformation at this time with all the Disney, out of all the Disney theme park. Orlando, it rains all the time and it is hot. Please make sure you pack a poncho and a fan. Purchase it on Amazon or something. Do not purchase it at the park, because you guys, let's be honest, let's be real, it is overpriced at the park. How to beat the crowds, kind of elaborate a little bit more on that. Times to go or to be at Disney World to beat the wait times and all of that is usually at rope drop or extra magic hours. I guess I should probably go ahead and talk about staying at resorts, but let me go ahead and say this. But typically at rope drop and in the morning at Disney, it's usually the least crowded. A lot of people like to sleep in on vacation. So if you want to beat the crowds and beat the wait times, definitely go during rope drop or in the morning during the first bit of extra magic hours, or if you're staying at a Disney resort, the last bit of extra magic hours. It's the best time to be at Disney World. So again, on the idea of resorts, so yeah, should you stay at a Disney resort? For one, if it's your first time going to Disney World and you're only going to be at Disney World, you're not going to like Universal or SeaWorld or any of the other parks, I 100% would advocate for you to stay at a Disney resort. I love Disney resorts. My bougie butt, I will probably be staying at a Disney resort every time I go to Disney World from now on, just because I love the experience. I think you get a full experience of Disney when you stay at a Disney resort. And not only that, you get a lot of perks. Like I said, extra magic hours every single day. There's one park, for the most part, every single day there's one park that does have extra magic hours. Either they're open an hour early or a couple hours late, whatever the case may be. Check your Disney app to see which parks that is. But I would definitely recommend staying at a Disney resort, because you get free shuttle to the parks, free shuttle from the airport to your hotel. You get the Disney experience and everything like that. Some offers that are not available to everybody. Really, if you stay at a Disney resort, you don't even really have to pay to, you don't have to have a car. Now, I will say though, what does stink is that Disney started incorporating parking fees to their resorts, which stinks. So I guess that's your parking fee for Disney World or whatever. But regardless, I love the convenience of having a shuttle, not having to worry about driving or anything like that. So I would definitely recommend staying at a Disney resort. It's just, again, the overall experience is amazing. Another thing to keep in mind, to be aware on your first trip to Disney World, is that Disney World does have events. They have like the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, Mickey's Christmas Party, the Villains After Hours, all of that stuff. So just keep into consideration when you go to check the times on your Disney app or on the website of if they have one scheduled for that day, because I know one time I went to Disney World, I didn't know about Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, but I went with my best friend to Disney World, and the day we were supposed to have a full day at Magic Kingdom, got there a little bit later. We found out that they closed at 6 for the Mickey's Halloween Party, and we couldn't get tickets to the Halloween party because they were sold out. So just be aware of that. A tip to beat the wait times as well, is go to an event. The magic number, unspoken number of the limit for these parks is 20,000, and only the people who have a ticket can stay, and they do have checkpoints for that. But typically these have a lot more of a relaxed atmosphere. The wait times don't really exceed more than 30 minutes, if I'm being honest. Like the most I waited for a ride was actually like 30 to 40 minutes, and that was for the mine train at Magic Kingdom, and this was for, I think, for the Christmas party, and it was a sold out event too. You guys are trying to beat the crowds or have a relaxed atmosphere and have low wait times, go to an event. I would definitely recommend. I do want to go to a Villains After Hours event next year. I've never been, so we'll see how that goes. Disney World has these cute little pins where where it says like I'm celebrating my birthday, celebrating, and it's just blank. Those are absolutely free. You will see people have, you know, they have them on, and they're absolutely free. Just ask a castmate. And what's really cool about the birthday one is like you'll have people telling you happy birthday like all day every day. Just make sure you ask your castmate and ask for Sharpie so you can put down what you're celebrating or how you're celebrating. The next few, I'm just gonna fly through them. Follow Disney Food Blog, who keeps a little bit more up to date and posts daily videos about Disney World, Disneyland, and all theme parks. And all I'm gonna say is you're welcome. Make sure you bring some snacks because you will be on a binge marathon of Disney Food Blog. She's amazing. Shout out to AJ. Make sure you bring something for kids to do in line. I know Disney on their apps, again, download the app, but they have like these really cool games that you could play while you're waiting in line. But again, just make sure your kids are entertained while they're waiting in line. Please don't ever spend more than 30 minutes on a ride. Make sure you book your fast passes on your app as soon as you can. And if maybe there's a ride that you've been wanting to ride and they have a long wait time, like Flights of Passage or Rise of the Resistance, that's not even offering fast passes right now. They're on a boarding system, but like the Slinky Dog Dash or Flights of Passage or whatever, if you weren't able to get fast passes for that, make sure you go either during road drop or get in line right when the park closes. So if the park closes at 10, get in line at 10. You can get in line until right on the dot when they close. And FYI, and you still will not be waiting the insane amount of like a 2-hour wait line like if you were to go during the day. Speaking of that, do not leave when everybody else leaves. Do not leave when the fireworks are done and everybody's heading home. Do not do that because you will be in buzz mayhem and traffic mayhem, and it'll be chaotic and crazy, and you'll be like beating everybody up to try to get to your monorail or bus, shuttle, whatever. Chill out, get on another ride. Again, you can get on rides up until the park closes. Some shops are open up until an hour after the park closes. So just please do not leave when everybody else leaves. Stick it out for a while, get on a ride or whatever, and then go home. And I promise you, you will not have that much of a hassle getting back to your hotel. When you're buying merch, a no for me is like, I'm gonna wait to Disney Springs to buy all of my merch, blah, blah, blah. Don't do that because each park has merch designated for its theme. Like some cool Lion King merchandise that I saw at Animal Kingdom, I wasn't able to get at Disney Springs. So just make sure that you don't wait till you get to Disney Springs to purchase all of your merchandise because each park has its own cool themed merchandise. Best seating for parades and fireworks show or any show is always the second show. So just remember that you always get the best seating on the second show. Please do not do a park a day back to back to back. I made the mistake when I went in July of doing like, oh, we can do four parks in 4 days, like whatever, and we did it back to back to back. Oh no ma'am. By the 4th day when we got to Animal Kingdom, I was exhausted. I literally had to rely on coffee and tequila to get me going through the day. I was exhausted. I wanted to sleep and sleep. It was crazy. So but I had to get the most out of my trip. So please make sure you schedule like a day in between each park, or like 2 days on a park and then rest, and then 2 days at a park and then rest, or whatever. But please make sure you schedule your rest day. Please rest, please, because it is exhausting. It's not. I would never do that again. Do not do parks back to back to back. I try not to just in general wait in line to meet the characters. I think the best times or the best ways to meet the characters is during character dining experiences, because you don't have to wait in line and you're eating while you're waiting on Mickey or anybody to come and say hello. So on your app and check out character dining experiences and who and what characters are there and when. Typically for the Fab Five, I would recommend the garden crest at Epcot. I might be wrong. I would recommend that. I would recommend Ohana, where also Lilo and Stitch is at. But Chef Mickey's as well if you want to meet Mickey. But just in general, don't wait in line to meet characters. You can meet them through character dining experiences, and you get a lot more bang for your buck. I feel like you get a lot more interaction, of course, depending if they're how busy they are. But just don't wait in line. Make sure that you put your card on file with your Disney app, so you don't have to wait in line and check in at the lobby. You can just on your app, you just type in when you plan on arriving at the hotel, and it'll text you when your hotel's ready. You don't have to wait in line to check in at the lobby. You can check in through your app and go directly to your room. One of the most important tips is please be nice to cast members. Please be nice to them. Please be nice to the custodians. Please be nice to everybody that works there. And they are trained specifically to cater to the guests. So please understand that. The cast members are trying their best to make sure that you have the most amazing experience, and they understand that it's expensive. They understand that it's a once in a lifetime for a lot of people, and they try their best to go above and beyond. And a lot of them they have the power to make some Disney magic. So just understand that. Always be nice. Always be nice. These are the tips that I recommend all first-time Disney World visitors to know and to understand before going to their first trip to Disney World in 2020. Understand that this list is always changing, but hopefully I will keep this thread, I guess you could say, this video updated as much as possible. And as always, I will see you guys on the next video. Chat soon.